So yes, ladies and gentlemen, mooching there, Donald Trump's financial advisor is convening the Plunge protection team because their phony baloney crap fiat currency that they print right out of thin air is, people have figured it out. Mnuchin's Plunge protection team to protect the Federal Reserve from printing the presses maybe through the Christmas holidays. Because as they print more and more gazillions from the thin air, Mnuchin's Plunge protection team has to protect us from the housing industry. You know, the building material sellers, and let's see, the concrete block sellers, and the Owens Corning fiberglass. You got to protect the insulation manufacturers, and the plumbing and the carpeting, and those incinerator garbage disposals they put in all the fancy new houses that are marketed by the big building materials corporations and the big real estate speculating, monopoly racketeering mafias. How about that one? Rico Realty Incorporated with the United States government lending agencies, HUD, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the whole Farmers Home Administration thing, USDA, and the Federal Reserve, fiat phony baloney money printers. Now, folks, the Plunge protection team. Let's talk about the old Plunge protection team. Well, the stock market's way overinflated anyways. It's long overdue for a correction. And all this so-called money that they want for the wall. Hey, Donald Trump, why don't you just have them print it? They were printing $85 billion in quantitative easing bucks every month. Why doesn't the Federal Reserve just print up about $100 billion, for 1 month and build the wall? Let's answer that one, Donald Trump, and get that pipsqueak vice president of yours with your attorney general and your director of Federal Bureau of Investigation. Let's answer that, Christopher Wray. Why doesn't the Federal Reserve just print up, about $100 billion imagineered phony baloney reserve notes and build the wall? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get down to reality, where the rubber meets the road. The Mnuchin, is that how you say it? Mnuchin? He's like a little, Smurf. Mnuchin, the financial advisor to Donald J. Don, the Trump. Don Johnny, J. Don John. What's his name here? Donald Trump, the Don of the federal mafia. You see, Mr. Trump, Cuomo and the Clintons and the Pelosi's and good old Chuck Schumer from upstate New York, old Chucky Schumer, and Dianne Feinstein and Maxine Waters and Barack Obama and the Bushes and the Clintons. Let's talk about quantitative easing money for the quantitative easing wall. Let's get them to quantitative easing a wall, Donald J. Trump. Just tell the old Federal Reserve to print you up a bunch of that phony baloney fiat Shinplaster script. I said that correctly, ladies and gentlemen, the Shinplaster. Let's print up a bunch of Shinplaster quantitative easing bucks, Donnie J, and build the wall. Come on, you know all about how Deutsche Bank and UBS and WAMU and Goldman Sachs and Wells Fargo and Citibank and Chase, good old Chase Bank, they're all about printed up out of the thin air quantitative easing bucks. Ask your director of Federal Reserve just to print you up, $100 billion bill. America, you have been bamboozled and enslaved, totally brainwashed and completely indoctrinated to their phony baloney money system, the big corporation, USA Incorporated. Just print the money, Donald. Just order the Federal Reserve to print the money and get it over with. Oh, wait a minute. The fiat money, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, during this Christmas season, I want to direct you to the links below. And remember that this guy right here was like over 30 years out in front of the yellow vest. 30 years before the yellow vests protests, and about 25 years before Occupy. And I nailed the savings and loan scandal in Houston, Texas. If you got any doubts, just go on any search engine you want and type in bank looting, the Great Texas Bank Job. I'm that guy who blew the whistle on the largest financial screw job in the history of the universe. Come on, Donald J. Trump, just admit it. Get some quantitative easing money out of the thin air. You know, poof, hocus pocus, and build the stupid wall. Donald J. Trump, Christopher Wray, and the Department of Justice, you don't have any clothes. You've been stripped of your clothes, Mr. Mnuchin, and your Plunge protection scam, your Plunge protection scheme. Folks, I'm leaving it right there, and as always, hasta la vista, God bless, and you can bet your sweet bippy we're coming back.